the opportunity to address this rally on behalf of the SDLP. It is an exceptional honour for me to stand here this afternoon in solidarity with the families of those innocent people who were murdered on Sunday the 30th of January 1972. We in the SDLP have always supported your long and difficult campaign for truth and justice. I pay tribute to you all. You have encountered in your journey much provocation and endured prevarication, but you have never given up. With inspiring determination, you have stood steadfast for full truth and for full justice. Throughout, you have asked for nothing more, and you will accept nothing less. And that is the only standard against which the Savile Report will be or should be measured. I too was on the march on Bloody Sunday, and I vividly recall my great sense of purpose at the age of 21 as a university student, and that shared by many others, to challenge injustice here in Northern Ireland through peaceful protest, and to tackle in particular the injustice of internment without trial. To take on a system that tried to keep people on their knees. But we rose to our feet and we began building a new society based on equality and opportunity for all. And the SDLP are determined to keep building that society. I will never forget the fear on the streets as the British Army carried out their massacre. My utter horror and devastation as I returned home that night. The deep shock, the trauma in the immediate aftermath, in the days and weeks that followed those terrible events. And my absolute disgust at the slaughter of Bloody Sunday was compounded by the legal travesty of the Widgery Report. That was a defining moment in the politics of our land. It was a defining moment in my life, in my political life. It was pivotal in shaping who I am politically and what I believe in politically. It underlined my abhorrence of all violence. All violence, whether it be state or paramilitary violence, violence from loyalists or violence from Republicans. That I abhor. And it underwrote my adherence to non-violence, ingrained in me a deep belief that indifference or inertia must never be our response to intolerance and injustice, and instilled in me a commitment to work for justice for all peoples and truth for all. It caused me to fully commit myself to democratic politics and to the SDLP in particular. I know that Bloody Sunday defined for many other lives too, and I accept that it was a watershed for all of us here today. Above all, it changed lives forever of those who lost their loved ones and for those who were injured. Ever since, your voices have spoken powerful testimony for truth and for justice, not only for yourselves, but for all those whom justice continues to be delayed or denied. Our society is fractured by the pain of the victims. This week again, that pain, carried from our tragic past, resurfaced in the understandable reaction to the Eames-Bradley report. Our society wants and our society needs disclosure, and the Eames-Bradley group recommendations are an honest and compassionate attempt to help us all find that. They give our forgotten victims the recognition that they deserve. They acknowledge the suffering in the hearts of so many people in their dignified silence. The SDLP promised to give full and careful consideration to Eames Bradley, and that's what we will do. We have encouraged others to do the same. We will measure each of those proposals against one standard. Does it address the past on an ethical, moral basis required to meet the needs of victims and survivors? We have, of course, legitimate concerns over some aspects of the report, not least the proposal that a line may be drawn after 5 years, in effect creating an amnesty, the potential equivalence that the proposed recognition payment may create between victims. We will not dismiss the report in its entirety as others have done. The pain held in people's hearts demands this of us. For the sake of our society now and for future generations, we need to create a means of registering and recovering the truth of what happened to people, families and communities, and to reflect both the brutality and the loss suffered by all. The simple truth which people's hearts desire must be the priority. As we look forward, we must always remember that what is the past for some is very much the present for others. It is the hurt that they still try to cope with day after day. The burden which they carry, often in loneliness, as they see progress made. The pain they feel as they search for truth and justice continues. Nowhere is that better understood than here today. For 37 years, you have campaigned for justice and truth. Along the way, you have listened to insult upon insult, suffered setback after setback. But you have always responded with dignity, with decency, and with renewed determination and steadfastness. Every time you thought that the end was in sight, you've been frustrated again with further delays. Time and time again, your resolve has been tested, but it will never be defeated. You have always kept going, and you will keep going until the full truth about Bloody Sunday has been told and has been heard. We hope and pray that your long campaign is nearing its end. We say unambiguously that there must be no more delays. This must be the year in which the Savile Report is published and seen first by the families, not by the British government and their lawyers. So, our campaign, your campaign continues. Our long walk goes on. On behalf of the SDLP, I give you my word. We walk with you every step of the way. Thank you.